Anyway, let's get started. Let's start officially. Let's go with the Merry Christmas, hello, and welcome to all of my patrons. I'm turning the sound down on the stream resub thing so I don't get too distracted. So yes, this is going to be a kind of hangout. You guys get to just sort of throw questions at me, and I will try my best to answer them. So, Gopher, how do you avoid burnout with all the streaming and content creation you do? Lots of coffee. Lots and lots of coffee. Oh, dear. So, good grief. What a strange question. How do you avoid burnout? I don't know, to be honest. It helps when you're doing something you absolutely love doing. You get tired, you sometimes get sleep deprived, but it's less. There are weird moments when you have what I think of as creator's block, like writer's block, only you know what you want to do, but you can't start it. The chapters of Skyrim have been like that every single time. Chapter 3, it took me about a week to get episode 1 done in the end. Just getting it started. It's so much easier to play blind games, you know, where you just start and you go with the flow. But when you've got an idea of where you want to take something, like I do with the Leonard playthrough, just getting started is half the battle. The prelude was done like a month and a half, 2 months before the chapter started in the end. So, yeah. Let's have a look. There's an awful lot of questions going back. So let me go with, did you ever consider playing Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice in VR? No, I did not. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice was vomit-inducing by default. I had to actually go and manipulate the INI files to remove motion blur and chromatic aberration, because that game actually gave me severe eye strain and nausea. Severe. Really quite severe. Way more severe than VR. It was quite horrible, actually. And I mean, it was getting to a point after, I think it was like the first 2 hours, I couldn't play, and I couldn't do anything for a day. It was awful. So in VR, oh my God, that would have murdered me. Really would have murdered me. So, dumb question. Would you honestly consider a podcast-like thing with Che? It's kind of almost what our forest playthroughs are anyway. But yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, that might actually not be a daft idea, me and Che, just because we very often chat and discuss all sorts of random things. Could be kind of cool. Have I seen a game, Atomic Heart, still in dev? Oh, good grief. Chat's going past a bit fast for me at the moment. Still in development at the moment, but it's being touted as an FPS RPG mashup of BioShock, Fallout, Metro, set in Soviet Union. Sounds really good. First-person shooter RPG mashup of BioShock, Fallout, and Metro. Yeah, they're definitely interested. I'm generally pretty interested in a lot of the post-apocalyptic things that come out from the Soviet Russia area. I mean, of course, I played Stalker, the first two, and I know people still want me to play the third Stalker, and I'm not even ruling it out one day. But I did get burnout, not so much from the second game, but from the community that was around it. It was a little draining. However, the next Metro game is absolutely on my play the instant it comes out list. Oh, good grief. Chat's going past too quickly. Yeah, Metro Exodus is going to be one of those games where it's not a rule, I was going to say break my rule, but break my tendency to not play games the instant they come out. I generally avoid doing the jump on the latest bandwagon kind of thing, but Metro Exodus, that one's getting played the instant it comes out. Oh, Fish Fiend is asking, is that a sign of how you are feeling about Skyrim right now? Is it just general creator's block? It's just general creator's block. It's nothing to do with how I feel about Skyrim. It's the problem with playing the Skyrim the way I play it is I have a very definite idea of a character and a sort of story I want to tell. And the chapters are going to be different phases of that character's development, usually focused around one quest line or one aspect. Obviously, as you can probably tell, chapter 3 for Leonard is him expanding his influence outside of the darker areas, the Thieves Guild and the Assassin's Guild, and trying to get to become a property owner and just gain influence in a more positive way. At the same time as embracing what has become another side of his character, the relic hunter side for the museum, because I wanted to sort of explore that a little more. But I do actually have plans for chapter 4, 5, 6, and so on. I've got several chapters ideas in my head. But sometimes it's not even easy for me to figure out what order to do them in. So it's not so much how I feel about Skyrim, but wanting to tell a story and getting it sort of out of my head and onto video. So, sorry, there's too many. There are so many questions going past, guys. I was actually not expecting this amount of questions. So when's Jack back? Don't know. I think when I go back to Fallout, I'm going to be redoing my load order. When I go back to Fallout, I think what I'll be doing is playing Fallout California. So I may be transferring my mod. I don't quite know how I'm going to do it, because I'm currently on Nexus Mod Manager for Fallout New Vegas. So I want to play California. And then I want to go and play maybe Frontier with Jack. So that's a real... tweet the stream. No, I'm not tweeting the stream, mate. This is the one stream I'm not tweeting. This is the Patron stream. I've announced it on Patreon. So... what was it? What was the question? Oh, good grief. Too many things going back. So that was when was Jack back. Do I have a medical eye conditioning? You're awful susceptible to motion sickness in games, or is it just more widespread in VR than most actors are willing to disclose? It's very, very common, Pope Peaches. And do I have a medical eye condition? I suppose technically yes. I can suffer from eye strain reasonably easily if I'm I say a medical condition. That's the wrong way. It makes it sound like I've got a medical, an actual like doctor who said, you have got a problem with your eyes. No, what I can tell you is I can suffer eye strain if I play certain games with things like chromatic aberration. And I also get similar sort of strain if I stay in rooms with lots of little candle lights flickering. My eyes can get a little tired. You know, if I spend 3 or 4 hours in a candlelit room, my eyes will get really tired. I don't like little candlelit flickering lights. So if I try and read a book or something in that kind of lighting, I don't do well. But that's not exactly a medical condition. It's just my eyes get tired if I do that. But if I play games with chromatic aberration, I will tend to get eye strain and headaches, and it's very common. If you look up the words chromatic aberration and headache, you will see a lot of discussion about this. Same is true of motion blur, although that doesn't affect me as badly. But chromatic aberration, on Warframe, it's the one thing that will, if I switch chromatic aberration on, after a couple of hours, I will not be able to play that day and probably the day after. And it was what got me on Senua's Sacrifice. So, wouldn't it be easier to read the questions from the beginning like a list? It would be if the bloody chat would not scroll automatically. All right, let me try that then. Let me just try that then. I'm going to try and hold the chat and just go through it. But the problem is you guys can't see which comment I'm looking at because I've shown the Patreon chat on the side, but it's not exactly keeping up with what I'm looking at because I'm looking at it on a different machine. So, all right. So we've talked about Skyrim. Right. J.L. Donner said, with your Skyrim playthrough with Leonard, I think it's safe to assume a large amount of people love Inigo to death. It's very true. They couldn't care less about Leonard. Not that I blame them. Not exactly a likable person, but Inigo is popular, yes. What are some of your favourite things about Inigo, and what are some of the things you wish Bethesda would do with their NPCs companions that Smart Blue Cat has done with Inigo? My favourite things about Inigo. To be honest with you, I've done a video about him. I did an entire mod sanctuary, so I would highly recommend that. But probably my favourite things about Inigo are the constant comments, which is hilarious if you think about it. The general trend with Skyrim and any Bethesda game and the companions is what they say gets very repetitive and very annoying, right? With Inigo, that is never the case. And apparently you can give him a necklace that will shut him up. Why you would do this is beyond me. Because there's every now and again he'll say something that is a repeated comment, but it's not often, and even when he does, it's not really that big a deal. But he just says so many cool things that are situational. A perfect example of that is the encounter with Maik the liar. It's absolutely amazing that the mod author thought to actually code in special lines, and not even the same line. I mean, multiple lines when you see Maik the liar. And that is it. He will comment on all sorts of bizarre things. So many things. He comments on the fact that you're carrying a human heart or human flesh. He comments about so many things. It's amazing. I also love the fact that there are whole areas of dialogue that are unlocked when sitting. I like the fact that this character tends to make you want to play the game like an RPG. What do I wish Bethesda would do with their NPCs that Smart Blue Cat was done with Inigo? Everything. If there was one thing I could pick, though, okay, if there's one thing I could pick, right, that Smart Blue Cat did with Inigo, and that I would grab Bethesda and say, for God's sake, do this with your NPCs, it's he whispers when you sneak. That. Doing the Thieves Guild quest with the thieves was hilarious and painful at the same time, because you've got these master thieves and you're sneaking and they're all sneaking and they're like, we should be careful when you go round the corner. Shut up. And they even do it. They go, we should be quiet now. It's like, yes, we should, shouldn't we? Whereas Inigo goes, like, we should be quiet now. And it's like, it fits. So if there's one thing, that would be it. All right. Gopher, your Gwent series on Gopher Live ended rather abruptly after only 4 installments. Are there any unpublished ones? No, there are not. I didn't play that much Gwent. It's one of those games that I could play a little bit, but, I've never really had time. Will you play Borderlands 2 VR? Is it out on VR? If so, the answer is yes. Will I stream it? I don't know how. I don't know how good that would be. I'm not even totally sure how Borderlands would work on VR, because Borderlands is a serious Twitch game. It's a serious jump around like a lunatic game. You can't do that in VR, so I'm not totally sure it would work. Plums asked, in your opinion, what is the best thing about KCD? Oh, God. The best thing. I don't actually know. There's a lot of good things, a lot of great things. The best thing, probably the way the NPCs react to what you're wearing and whether or not you're clean or dirty. The fact that the NPCs will comment if you are covered in blood. If you've gone out and killed 5 or 6 bandits and you come back and you forget to clean up, they will actually comment on it. Little things like that really, really, really do help. Oh God, I just got a tip. Thank you very much, Santa. Don't fight me. Have a good holiday. I just got a tip from Santa. Okay. So yeah, with KCD, I'm going to wait till I'm finished and I will give a full review about that. Okay. Zach Blue, question, topic, Minionland. Any news about 1, the server move, 2, you visiting Minionland? Oh, I was hoping to visit Minionland for Christmas. I haven't even updated my Minecraft. But I'm so behind on so many things I really, really want to do. The last couple of months have been trying my best to make sure I was ready for Christmas with Skyrim and also get ahead in KCD. I will admit, Kingdom Come Deliverance has thrown me for a bit of a loop as well. I really wanted to get ahead. Ideally, I would like to have finished Kingdom Come before I started Skyrim, because I've not played Kingdom Come Deliverance now for about 2 weeks. No, longer, 3 weeks. Might even be more than that. But I've not played it in a few weeks. And I can tell you now, one of the big problems with recording Skyrim for the first couple of episodes was constantly trying to do KCD things. And it's the most insane thing. Trying to open the map. And KCD has I have my map on a certain key, and I always usually rebind it for most games, so it's always on this one key. So whenever I think map, I press the button. Kingdom Come Deliverance has a very old school kind of menu system. And the map is the 4th button along. And because of the way I've got the button set up, my usual map key ends up being the horse key. And I didn't want it to do that because basically there's chaos going on outside my door. Basically, I wanted the buttons for all of the things in Kingdom Come Deliverance to match the tabs at the top. So I ended up using a different key for the map. And then when I went back to Skyrim, I kept constantly opening up my bloody player character menu rather than the map. That wasn't the craziest thing, though. I had such difficulty sprinting with my horse in Skyrim because I kept double tapping the sprint button to gallop, which you don't do in Skyrim. Also, getting on and off your horse. I'm constantly pressing the wrong key, because in most games, including Skyrim, getting on and off your horse is the same key as you do as talking, activating, that sort of thing, picking up stuff. In Kingdom Come Deliverance, it isn't. And because Skyrim and Kingdom Come Deliverance are so similar mechanically in how you move around, it's a first-person game with swords, etc. It's amazing how difficult it is to stop the habits. So, yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, I was actually answering about Minionland. And yeah, so anyway, so that's what I mean. So it's been kind of a pest the last couple of months trying to get everything ready. I did want to get KCD finished, but I didn't manage it. I'm way ahead, but I didn't manage to finish it, so I'm going to have to go back to that. I've also, it's almost been a year now, I've been on and off night duty and day duty because of the noise going on outside. So it's been a real stress to get things finished for Christmas. So I just did not manage to get around to updating Minecraft and visiting, because it just would have taken me several hours to get that one sorted out. The server move, I'm not sure yet. I know they're dropping the server, basically. They are dropping the server, and I have to get a new deal with them. And then we're going to have to move the whole thing. I need to talk to the moderators about it. Yes, I do. So I will get back to you about that one. I really will. Let's have a look. Atomic Heart, right. Let's play of Quake and Quake 2 from Blue Dragon. Let's play of Quake and Quake 2. Not exactly let's play materials. I'm assuming that's a bit of a joke. I used to play Quake 2 a lot. Like, seriously, a lot. Competitive. Catch the flag. Loved Quake 2. Fond memories of grappling through the air and switching to the railgun and headshotting someone before you land on the floor and grappling away before their corpse falls. Oh dear, oh dear. Quake is more stream material. Maybe, but it's not even real stream material for my channel, I don't think. Wolfclaw, will you ever remember to tweet your streams? Ha ha, very funny. Jean-Clay, if stroke when Red Dead Redemption 2 is released on PC, which mean if? Surely it's a guarantee that they will. I mean, how stupid would it be to not release it on PC? Will you make a Let's Play of it? I'd say that was a yes if I get time. I've heard that game is right up my street, that it's open world, but it's actually quite, it's not super actiony. It's also super RPG. Wolfclaw, don't repeat questions, please. Oh, dear. All right. Will I ever play Thronebreaker Witcher Tales? I played the first episode, a first part. I've got one episode on the Gopher's live channel. Will I ever go back and play it again? I don't know. It's more a matter of time. The next game planned for streaming is actually Divinity... No. DOS. What does it stand for? Quarico. Help me out here. Original Sin? It's Original Sin, isn't it? Divinity Original Sin. Right, okay. So yeah, that's the next planned one for stream. So there you go. Will I try the Forest in VR? Yeah, I was trying to get it figured out, actually, Forest in VR. I really was. I wanted to go visit my old abode. I wanted to visit the island. I might try and figure that one out. Baruto asks, how much do you enjoy making YouTube videos? And if there was one game you'd really want to play for YouTube, what would it be and why? Do I enjoy making YouTube videos? Yes, definitely. Love it. Best job I've had. But if there's one game you'd really want to play for YouTube, what would it be and why? I don't know, actually. I don't know. I mean, I sort of play the games I want to play for YouTube as soon as I can. So, yeah, don't think there is anything. Who should we thank for the new awesome overlay? That's from Thomas. Partly Quarico, actually. She found the theme. I haven't unlocked the potential of it yet. I'm going to be playing with it and trying to do some more cool things. We've got all sorts of, I love the snowman that catches the resubs and the tips and things. It's really kind of cool. You've got a tip jar, you see, and they go into the jar or the glass or something like that, or a stocking. But I just loved the snowman holding on to them for Christmas. So, yeah. Darkest Dungeon is now a complete game with 2 expansions. Will you take it up again? I might. That's one of those games like FTL that I could always imagine going back to. Yeah. Pope Peaches. That's the medical eye condition. Yeah, honestly, that is, you would be surprised the number of people who suffer from nausea in things like VR. A lot of it's probably age. In my case, the neural pathways are locked in. But there are perfectly rational physical reasons why people feel nausea in VR, though. And it's the disconnect between the inner ear and the eyes. When the inner ear doesn't feel the movement, but your eyes see it, your brain thinks something is wrong because it's not used to it. Now, you can get used to it because you can train your brain to just ignore those sensations. Tyler Bama fan. Is that Mass Effect Let's Play still waiting in the wings, or is that a dream I will have to put down? It's still an option, but again, it's you know, what have we got coming up in 2019? The Outer Worlds. Must play. Must play The Outer Worlds, right? I mean, that's going on my must play. Metro Exodus. Must play. That's 2019 as well. For those of you who've never played the Metro series or have not seen my Let's Play, I did a Let's Play of the previous two games, Last Light and Metro 2033. Was it 2033? I think it was. I highly recommend those games. Or at least watching my Let's Play of them. But I highly recommend you play them. Absolutely phenomenally good games. Phenomenally good games. I'm actually a little worried that Metro Exodus is not quite getting the hype it should. I might make a video about that, actually. I might make a video about that. Metro Exodus, I know some people are really, really excited for it, but it's one of those games I fear will go the way Prey did. It will be a bit of a niche, and some people will love it, and a lot of people will miss it. But I think that would be an absolute shame because those two, I mean, Metro 2033, especially on Ranger Hardcore mode, such a good game. I mean, it's a tough game if you play it on Ranger Hardcore mode. It is. It's a tough game. But a big reason that it's tough is it's so clever. The AI in that game was really good. I actually, in some ways, felt it was better than Last Light. I feel like they made the enemies a tiny bit easier to outthink in Last Light. I suspect it's because people complained, but there you go. Let's have a look. Do you still write code other than mods? Nope. I am retired. Have I ever thought about doing a Let's Play of Half-Life 1, 2, or 3 if it ever comes out? I have bad news for you. 3 is never coming out. That is just never going to happen. I say that. It's the sort of thing I could imagine them releasing in 20 years' time. Just because the hype for that game would, at that point, be just off the charts. 1 and 2, would I do a Let's Play of it? I don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is I suspect those games are not as good as we remember. They were great games at the time. They were. Half-Life 1 and 2 were great games at the time. In fact, in some ways, those were the games that really sort of, I don't know, in PC gaming at least, they expanded the FPS genre to have story and puzzle solving and a bit more to it than a lot of other games at the time. But I suspect they are a bit too linear and a bit too formulaic for today's standards. Outer Worlds will never live up to the hype either. We don't know that. We just don't know. I don't even think there's that much hype for Outer Worlds. Our community's pretty excited for it, but you compare it to the hype of Fallout 4, for example. I mean, Fallout 4 was hype. Outer Worlds is, everyone's excited, but it's not that hyped, actually. Gopher, get out of this chat. Sorry, I glanced across at the wrong chat. It's on a completely different screen. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out. Oh my god, I am so behind. See, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the render rig. I am so behind on the Patron chat. The Patron chat's about 9:17, and I'm reading questions that were at 9:04. Okay. Wasteland 3 will come out next year. It will have co-op mode and AF and fully voiced NPCs in dialogues. Oh, co-op mode. could I imagine streaming that game, maybe together with Che? Answer, yes. Yes, co-op. Yeah. I could, look, if it's got fully voiced NPCs in the dialogues, I actually feel like I could possibly play that for a Let's Play as well. That's one of the biggest problems with Wasteland 2. I had to do a lot of reading. A while back, someone floated the idea of you picking up a Nintendo Switch to play a couple of its exclusive adventure games. Have you given that any more thought? Yes, I have. I did think about the Nintendo Switch. Somebody actually donated money for me to buy it. And I might. The problem is I don't really know if I'd have time to do anything like Let's Plays. And I'm also not even totally sure how well I would handle that sort of environment. You got to remember that when I get pushed out of my comfort zone, I don't do too well. So, if I have to use a keyboard or a mouse that's not been set up for me and I haven't tweaked to my liking, I tend to end up with a lot of stiffness in my fingers and arms. I wonder about holding it and looking at the screen, how it would be to my posture, because I damaged my back in my youth. And I do suffer from it if I sit in a bad position. Yeah, I had a number of interesting accidents in my youth that have stayed with me to remind me that being stupid comes at a cost. Ignore if too nosy of a question. How did you end up in Norway? You grew up in the UK. It's a question I've answered before, so it's not actually that big a. It's not that big of a question. How did I end up in Norway? Basically, I met a Norwegian girl in England, and she came home pregnant, and so I was like, okay. So I moved here so that I could be here when my daughter was born. That is basically it. Was that whiskey I heard you drink? No, it was cold coffee, believe it or not, and I didn't finish it because it is really cold. Would you make me and other people happy, very happy someday, and give us a Let's Play of Dragon Age series? Which one? Inquisition? I don't know. I've heard it's a bit grindy. I've heard it would be a bit grindy. I think I would love to have played Dragon Age Origins on a Let's Play, but I have played it like about 6 times. I've forgotten it quite a lot. But Origins is the one I remember. Dragon Age Origins was just such a superb game. Question. I think 2019 going to Cyberpunk 2077's year based on customer faith in CD Projekt Red, how much other developers have lost, etc. What game do you think will dominate 2019? Oh, if Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, I think that will dominate. But then, everyone thought it was going to be Fallout 4 in 2015 and it turned out to be Witcher 3. Although when I heard the announcement for Fallout 4, I wasn't convinced it would dominate Witcher 3. I wasn't. But then, Witcher 3 was such a stunning achievement. But, Cyberpunk, probably. But if 2019 brings Cyberpunk, Outer Worlds, and Metro Exodus, that's 3 great games. I honestly don't think I'll be able to play more than that in a single year. Not if I'm still doing Skyrim and probably finishing off Kingdom Come Deliverance. And then, of course, Red Dead Redemption 2 might come out that year. So, my God, I got too many things. It's such a terrible situation to be in, isn't it? Any update on playing Divinity Original Sin series with Che? No, I'm going to be playing Divinity Original Sin with Quarico, actually. I'm playing Forest with Che. Quake Champions just relieved Catch the Flag. Have you given it a go? I've not. No, I've not. How hard would it be to get iHUD for Oblivion? Ooh. I can't remember if Oblivion used a similar HUD technology as Fallout 3. It probably did. How hard would it be? Probably not. Not terribly hard, but time consuming. I did agree to actually try and make an iHUD version for Skyrim for Skyblivion, which I will still be doing at some point. Divinity Original Sin 2 is the logical next step after DOS 1. No? Maybe. Yes, maybe. Star Citizen. Believe it or not, I'm one of the people who bought Squadron 42, so yeah, if it ever arrives. The original Red Dead Redemption never made it to PC. It's entirely likely they will not release it for Red Dead Redemption 2. Really? Oh, well, if they don't release it on the PC, no, I will never be playing it. I don't like playing on console. I just don't. The only reason I ever played Fallout 4 on console was very, very specifically so I could test out my mods that I made. I wanted a save that was far enough along. If I could have downloaded somebody else's save for my Xbox, I probably would have done that and never even played on it. So Barry would never have existed. No, I do not like playing on the Xbox at all. I don't like using controllers. I'm really lousy at them. I'm really bad at them. And I don't feel comfortable. But I really don't find playing on... I'm going to say it. I know some people get annoyed with me. I don't like playing on that low frame rate at all. It has to be a spectacular... It would have to be like a spectacularly good performing game on the Xbox, getting like 60 frames a second, and most of them just don't. So probably not. Okay. Professor, following the rocky release of Fallout 76, are you still interested in Starfield? Yes. Are you worried about the direction Bethesda seems to be headed? Yes. And do you think that will impact on your interest in their future titles? No. Yes. Depends what you mean by impact. I'm just as interested, but now it's the same sort of interest you get in that potential train wreck that went on. You know, you sort of like, I'm very interested in Starfield. I'm still hoping that it's going to be Skyrim in space. Will it be a Bethesda? Here's the thing. It needs to be a Bethesda Game Studio single player open world RPG. I know it's not going to be open world if it's a space game, but you know what I mean. I say it has to be that. I think it has to be that for it to be good if it's Bethesda, because I think Bethesda are good at making that sort of game. Bethesda are good at making games like Skyrim. They are. That's their niche. That's what they're good at. And if Starfield is like that, there's a chance that it will be good. Well, there's a good chance it will be good, I think. It doesn't mean they have to make it like that. They might make it closed world. I mean, I know the outer world is not going to be moddable and it's a lot more linear. It's not considered open world. Could Bethesda do something like that and make it good? Yeah. But it would require very good writing. You know, I mean, linear games require a different skill set, I think, to open world games. And currently, I'm not convinced Bethesda has that particular skill set, or at least not in enough quantities. They can do very good writing. There's a lot of good writing in Morrowind, and there's good writing in Oblivion and Skyrim. It's just it's in different places. You know, the Dark Brotherhood quest line in Oblivion is always lauded as some pretty good writing and very good quest design. But can they do a whole game? I don't know. So yeah, I'm interested in Starfield. But I don't even know what they're going for. If it's Skyrim in space, I think that could be great. After that, Elder Scrolls 6, it has to be Elder Scrolls 6. But at this point, if Bethesda have not got the message, they never will. If Bethesda are sitting around and they have got any other plans for Elder Scrolls 6 other than a return to form, other than, going back to a pure single-player, full-priced game with no microtransactions and take an extra year to clean up all the bugs. Whatever their original release plan was, let's just say they were aiming to release it in 2020 or something, or 21, which I still think was doubtful anyway. They need to put it back a year, make sure it's completely bug-free. They need, if they haven't sat down and had a big meeting and said, all right, yeah, we need a return to form. If they've not done that, then I have very little confidence in their future games. Because honestly, the Fallout 76 thing has been a debacle, but what staggers me the most about it, and I've stayed away from making videos about this subject because I want to focus on the games rather than on the company practices. The microtransactions, the recent revelations and the recent prices regarding the microtransactions, that is just such a bad sign. That to me is way worse than the buggy release. Way worse than the buggy release. I know a lot of people are like, oh no, they need a new engine and it's the bugs that are killing their products, and Fallout 76 proves they need a new engine with no bugs. And I'm not convinced by that, because I don't think Fallout 76 would have been a success even had it been bug free. I think it would have been a mediocre kind of, with a lot of fans still complaining about it as though it was the worst thing ever, even if it had been completely bug-free, because I just don't think it was a game aimed at their fan base, and I don't think it was a game that was particularly inspiring. But the microtransactions in that game, the price is on them. I've been resisting. I have been going out of my way to resist making cheap shots at Bethesda because, well, I'll be totally honest with you, because I think the community's got fatigue regarding Bethesda. I do. I think people are just, I think people want to complain about them, but I think people are just exhausted about complaining about them. I think every single gaming YouTuber, especially the Bethesda ones, but even the non-Bethesda ones, has made 20 videos each about them. And I think the community's just can't take it anymore. So I've resisted the urge. But I have to admit, there's been moments where I just wanted to jump on it and make non-stop videos. I was in GameSpot the other day trying to find some presents for my kids, and Fallout is on sale for $25 here. $25. They then release a Santa outfit for $20. A Santa outfit for $20 on a game that's already dropped in price to $25. The icon thing, was it $15 for the icons? And it's literally 12 PNG files? I was just staggered. So I almost made a video. I almost made one of the videos where I never release it. I do that a lot. You guys in the Patreon stream, you know I sometimes float silly ideas by you. Quadricode gets it all the time. Like I want to make a video like this, and it's like, yeah, it's a good idea, but you probably shouldn't, sort of video. But I did. There was one I wanted to make, which was my told ya video, because one of the things that people have been having a go at Bethesda for has been the Creation Club, and they've been having a go at them for, I don't know, 2 years now, 3 years, ever since it came out. But they've been going at them because of its similarity to mods. But this stuff's pretty much the same as the mods. And I've been constantly saying the problem isn't that it's similar content to the stuff created by the modding community. The problem is it's not a good value proposition. It's overpriced crap. Well, not crap. That's that. I didn't want to say that because it's not crap. It's, the stuff that they're selling is just way too overpriced. And of course, when anything's overpriced, we automatically want to call it crap. But it's massively overpriced. But that's what happens with microtransactions. And the Creation Club is microtransactions. And I worried that sort of mentality would mean they would release games with less content and then try to sell us content back. And what is Fallout 76 if not a game lacking in content where they are selling content back? It's the classic problem of microtransactions. But this time, I mean, Bethesda took it on steroids. They took it on steroids. I couldn't get over it. And that sort of thing really worries me. That is just, if they got it into their head that they can make more money selling skins and new weapons for their old games than they can by making new games or by making expansion pack size DLC, then they're done. And that to me was always a worry. That to me was always the worry. As I used to say to people that tell me that, Bethesda are trying to kill off modding. And I used to say, they won't kill off modding. Modding will die when Bethesda make a game nobody wants to mod, or they stop making games. And they've just made a game that I'm fairly sure nobody's going to want to mod. And if they keep going the way they're going, they may end up basically not making games. So I had to resist the urge to do the whole video. Glad I didn't. Because I don't want to... Anyway, I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now, see? I'm doing it. I'm jumping into the negativity. I want to stay away from the negativity because I don't think I'm adding anything new to it. All right, let's... Can I move on? Can I move on? I want to move on. Definitely. Let's not talk about Fallout 76. Hands up. Who's fed up of that conversation? I got my hand up. All right. Question. Any horror games you're considered playing in 2019? Man of Medan could be for you. Nothing at the moment. Nothing at the moment. No. Would I do them? Yes. I've got plenty of them with keys and things. Pope Peaches, would you be willing to lead up to Exodus with a non-lethal playthrough of Metro and Last Light? Yes, but I absolutely will not get time. There's just no way I'm going to find time. I mean, I've got Skyrim to get through. I've got Fallout California. I've got Kingdom Come Deliverance. I've and I've got a list of things that I've wanted to play in the background, and that's if I get any space before any of these new games come out. So it's just... If you could have one upcoming game, Cyberpunk, Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, Outer Worlds, be ready to play now and be absolutely amazing, what would it be? Elder Scrolls 6. There you go. Elder Scrolls 6. If I could have a game ready right now and be absolutely amazing, Elder Scrolls 6. Out of that list, you give me Cyberpunk, Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, Outer Worlds, right? See, I think Cyberpunk's going to come out this year or maybe next year, but it's not too far off, and I think it's got a fairly good chance of being good. Starfield, don't know, less of a care about that one. Outer Worlds is coming out soonish and will probably be pretty good. It's Obsidian. Elder Scrolls 6 isn't due to be out for like 3, 4, 5 years at least, especially if they want to fix a lot of the bugs and stuff. And as we've just said, we're all a bit nervous as to whether it'll be absolutely amazing. So if I could just choose one game for it to magically appear right now it would be that one, because I'd be killing two birds with one stone. Besides, honestly, I love the Elder Scrolls type games. I'm still playing Skyrim. So whilst I'm going to love Cyberpunk, and I will play it and adore it probably the way I adored and played Witcher 3, I'm still playing Skyrim. Do you know what I want? Do you know what I really want? I want another game that just makes me go mad for mods. That's what I really want right now. I want what I had with Skyrim for the first year. I want what I had for Fallout 4 to some degree. Fallout 4, we had a lot of excitement over the modding. I want another one of those games. And if Starfield comes out and it's Skyrim in space and it's heavily moddable and we all start making mods for it, I'm going to love it. Because I like mods. I do. Do I have high hopes for Elder Scrolls 6 after the Fallout 76 debacle? I think we've covered that one. How am I feeling about YouTube in general these days? Pretty good. It's got its moments. I've got to release another video. I've had a few copyright claims and a lot of demonetization in the last month or so. It's been a bit of a pain, but it's par for the course now. I wonder if I'd stream with Chase on Far Cry. Maybe. Whiskey and FTL Cucumbers Nostalgia stream when? I don't know actually, but definitely an option. That's definitely an option. I could see that happening. Am I planning on making any more mods for Elder Scrolls or Fallout? I'm not planning anything currently, but I am planning updates. For example, Predator Vision. There's a few updates. There's a few things I'd like to perhaps have some, I don't know what you call it. Yeah, compatibility patches with Ordinator. So, okay, new sub. Plushy. So yeah, I would. I think I would like to make some tweaks here, there to a couple of my mods. Have you lost your sensitivity to caffeine? Yeah, a gazillion years ago. Yes, I drink too much coffee, and I really keep telling myself. I occasionally go through phases where I drink a cup of coffee and then a cup of decaf. In a desperate attempt to cut down the caffeine intake. But I actually think what happens then is I just drink twice as many cups, I think. Between fantasy and sci-fi, which do you tend to gravitate towards more? Neither. I would once upon a time have said fantasy. Like maybe 30 years ago I would have said fantasy, but now I enjoy both. And to be honest, with games like Kingdom Come Deliverance not even being fantasy, there's just so many options now. I think my tastes have broadened as I've gotten older. What are your feelings about playing a game like Dark Souls or Bloodborne as a Let's Play or stream? I've streamed Dark Souls. And I've played Dark Souls 2. And I've played Dark Souls 3. I just don't feel they're Let's Play games. Streaming games, maybe, but you know the sort of people that turn up. You know the sort of people that turn up. There are some games that have communities that would really benefit from, 10 minutes with a cricket bat out back. I'm a terrible person. It's like the Stalker community. Some of the Stalker community are awesome, brilliant, helpful. Some of them just need a kick in the nuts. The Dark Souls community is kind of like that. So, yeah. Someone's talking about the Enderal DLC. Would I be looking into it? Maybe. I think that the thing is my Enderal playthrough was too recent, so the DLC, I don't know, does the DLC, does it extend so I could carry on with Ming? Because if so, yeah, maybe. Although, to be honest with you, didn't I play Enderal on Skyrim, not Skyrim Special Edition? I think I did. And I think I'd rather... Mind you, you can bring saves over. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Let's just put that as a possible, maybe one day. What do you think is more likely after the Fallout 76 disaster? Bethesda takes more time for Starfield and Elder Scrolls to release them as good as bug-free as possible, or that Bethesda takes less time to release the game as soon as possible to make the people forget the 76 disaster as quickly as possible? Okay. Which do I think is more likely? Probably the latter. Which do I think would be wisest? Maybe the latter, actually. The thing is Bethesda needs a win now. And they need it soon. But if they can't get a win soon, it would be better to have a win later. Here's the thing. If they can get Elder Scrolls 6, well, it's not going to be Elder Scrolls 6. If they can get Starfield out and it be a good game, as good as Skyrim, if they can get it as good as Skyrim, they should get that out as soon as possible, even if it has bugs. Some people will go mad at me for saying that. Oh my God, no, it's time they fix the bugs. It is. It absolutely is. But if the game's as good as Skyrim, it'll survive the bugs. People like to say, Bethesda have been getting a free pass for too long. No, they haven't. They've not been getting a free pass ever. In fact, Bethesda have always been getting grief. They've been getting grief since the Morrowind days. They have. They've always had grief. Their games have been getting a pass, but it wasn't free. It was earned. Morrowind was buggy. It had all sorts of issues, but it had a pass for those issues because it was a bloody good game that we all enjoyed playing. Well, not all, but those of us who give it a pass because we enjoyed playing it. Oblivion was a buggy game, and we gave it a pass because it was a game we loved to play. And Skyrim had bugs that had been around for God knows how long, but we gave it a pass because we loved playing Skyrim, and so on. Each and every one of their games got a pass because it was actually a whole heap of fun to play. Fallout 4 didn't get as much of a pass, did it? Didn't get as much leeway. So it didn't really get a pass free or earned. And Fallout 76, I think it's safe to say, I've seen no sight of a pass. And this is because this game did not earn it. So if Starfield comes along and is a good game, and it is fun to play, and I play it for 5,000 hours and make mods and install mods and make modding videos about it, even if it still has the silly cows flying into the air bug, which will be funny because cows in space... Okay, no, I like that idea now. I've said it out loud. I will put up with all of those bugs. I will mock them for those bugs. Yes, I will. If the key rebinds are as bad as their previous games, I will mock them. I will make a video going, this is unacceptable, Bethesda. And then I will go back to playing the game. If it's a good game, if it's as good as Skyrim. I will join in the piss take of the terrible AI, but I will go back to playing the game if it's as good as Skyrim or Oblivion or Morrowind. And I think they will recover a lot of their fan base if they make a game that's as good as that. If they can do that and do it soon, they should. If they can't do that, and they need to take an extra year, 2 years, 3 years to do that, they should do that instead. I'm gonna smudge what I just said a tiny bit. Whatever they release, I think they should spend a few months longer bug fixing. I think right now, if I was part of their PR department, I'd say, or whatever department, I'd say, look, some of these bugs, you know, the ones that the modding community fixed, I don't know, 7 years ago, maybe we should incorporate those bug fixes. You know, they're just those. The ones that the modding community has fixed, let's just do that. I think that would be a wise idea. I think if they could release a game that was as good as Skyrim, and they spend a couple months just bringing in those few bug fixes, that would do a lot to repair the damage they've done to their reputation. So, yeah. I hope that answered your question. Will they be able to do that? That's a whole other question, though. So, yeah. Anyway, let's carry on. Did you create a Skyrim mod you were talking about that can pay off guards the crimes for murder? No, I didn't. still, I've got like, I did a bit of it to stop you paying off. Oh, win it. No. Did you create the Skyrim mod you were talking about so you can't pay off the guards for crimes of murder? Oh, yeah. I'm using it in my Let's Play. But what I wanted to do was expand it a little bit. But I wanted to make it compatible with some mods that made the jailbreak thing a little more interesting. But I couldn't find one that I really liked. I actually, if I had the skill, and I don't have the skill to make this mod. I could get it though. It's one of those things. Modding is just an exercise in patience while you figure out things. And once you figured them out, you could just do them over and over again. It's just like that. There's nothing in making mods that's truly rocket science, but it's one of those things where you sort of have to learn a lot as you go along. And I don't have the current knowledge needed to make quest mods. And escaping from jail would be a quest mod. What I would actually like to do is if I had unlimited time, just sit down and completely overhaul the whole crime system and make it so that if you get caught for a crime, you go to jail and you either serve your time or you have to escape. But to escape, there's a whole heap of steps. You got to get out of there. You've got to fix the books. Maybe you've got to go and bribe a lord or someone high up. And I would actually have a fairly involved set of things going on. I just don't have the time to figure all that out, I'm afraid. Let's have a look. I've never played Morrowind or Oblivion, so I'm really hyped to see Skylivian or Skywind. How nostalgic do you think you'll get playing those mods? Oh, on a scale of 1 to 100, a million. How much longer do I anticipate that we'll be waiting for them? I don't know. I know Skylivian is really progressing, but I don't know when we'll be getting it. I really don't. I find it better to not think about it, because if you do, you start crying. Dalates Drain asked, how do you immerse yourself and create such amazing role-playing experience? How do you manage after so many characters? Any advice for people not used to role-playing in-game? I don't know. I think is the honest answer. It's something I do even more when I'm Let's Playing than when I'm playing. But a big part of it is because I'm talking out loud. When I talk out loud, I start... when I talk out loud when playing a game and I'm commenting on things, it feels even more real. And so I start talking to the NPCs and then they feel more real. I guess what I'm saying is I'm probably deranged. It's just, there's something about when I start talking that I start verbalizing my thought process, that I start seeing it stronger. It's like a feedback loop. And it just I get into it. I just get into it without even trying. So, yeah. I find it's just as soon as I start talking, I disappear into the game. I don't do it as much when I play. I still do it, I think, more than most people from the sounds of things, because a lot of people will ask comments of like, why don't you do that? Why? And I'm like, well, because I don't want to do that. That would make me feel daft. Or, I liked, when I played Skyrim, I liked to play lots of different characters, and I felt bad if I was trying to play a good character, I couldn't join the Thieves Guild, even though I know some people do. Some people like, oh, I joined the Thieves Guild and played an honorable character. And I'm like, how did you do that? The whole quest line there just doesn't work for me. So I think I'm there anyway. But when I verbalize it, I pull myself deeper in. Can we get a jacket, sweatshirt in the merch shop? A jacket or a sweatshirt? We used to do hoodies. I'm going to redo the merchandise. I think I am. so that we get more products, because they've got a new way of doing it now. So I can have a t-shirt up and then you click on it, and instead of t-shirts, you can choose all the different items, where it used to be I had to add separate items, or at least that was pretty much the best way if you wanted multiple colors. So I ended up with like a t-shirt, a hoodie, and a mug or something, and that would be 3 items on the store, and that would just take up so much space. Now it's only 1 space on the store, but I could have everything, like iPhone cases, whatever. So I will be redoing things and adding more products. C. Dante, hello. Merry Christmas. My question to you, in your opinion, what game should a mod maker focus on in 2019? A mod maker? I'm sure you can agree Fallout 76 isn't really what we were hoping as for mod makers. Yeah, no. I mean, yes, I agree with you. But I did actually make a video where I actually said I didn't think Fallout 76 was going to really, be a game, the modding community that I know, mod makers like you, I didn't see it as that game where you guys would all be running over and going, I want to make mods for this, that, and the other. Now, King Gath, I could sort of almost see wanting to mod it, because there's a lot of settlement elements. Well, not a lot, but there is, they've got that camp building side of things. So I could possibly have imagined him wanting to make it. But the whole private service thing just, I think, kills it. Because I think you need, the problem is with this game not having servers at the moment, because it doesn't have servers. Most of the other games that people compare it to, they have private servers that can be modded, but that's because pretty much it's always server based, and so people get in the habit of playing on servers. And I always thought that Fallout 76 just was never going to work that way, because people would get to a certain level of progress on the public game and wouldn't want to lose all that progress going into a private server. So private servers, I thought, would always be a niche thing, a very niche thing. And the problem with niche is then you don't have a huge audience for your mods. And let's face it, you know this as well as I do. A big part of making mods is the feedback you get from the people using your mods. The more feedback you get, the more you want to make mods, the more you put into the mod, etc. And this is why I think in many ways the community for Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas has grown up. It's been this feedback loop. People want to start using mods the instant Bethesda Game Studios games come out, so they start downloading them. So mod makers are eagerly rushing out there to make the mods. You don't have that on Fallout 76 because you don't have the private servers available. And when those private servers eventually come out, if they do, and that is a big if, you're not going to have that ready-made bunch of people clamoring for the mods. So you'll have a few people wanting them, but they're probably not going to want little mods. They're probably going to want the big mods, the mods that radically overhaul things. Well, those take a huge amount of time and commitment. So that has to be a bunch of mod makers who really are determined to make those mods for Fallout 76, even though currently there's not the audience. And then those mods will attract the audience in. And I just never saw that with Fallout 76 from what I played. I just didn't. So I've never been a believer that Fallout 76 would be the next modding sensation. What did you say? The next game is 2 years away. Any suggestions? Go back to Skyrim, continue modding Fallout 4. Yes, those two. Learning to make mods for The Witcher, I'm not... The Witcher is, again, not another game I see as being a natural fit for the sort of modder that you are and the sort of modern community that we have. Because The Witcher is not the same sort of open sandbox game that Skyrim is. Witcher has a defined character. It has a defined backstory. And as open world as it is... You know, you don't get to play a dwarf, you don't get to play a Scoia'tael, you don't get to play a sorceress. And whilst you could make mods that would allow you to do that, the whole story doesn't work then. If you're not Geralt, the story doesn't work. So it's just one of those games where I think they let us mod it, and there are loads of mods for it, but I don't think it would ever get the same sort of modding as Skyrim. And I think the same is going to be true of Cyberpunk. The Bethesda games lend themselves to the modding community because they are so ripe for it. They are so flexible. Yeah. Go back to Skyrim, continue modding Fallout 4? I think, yeah. Honestly, go back to Skyrim. I'm saying that because I'm playing Skyrim more. You know, probably not what you want to hear. I don't think the next Obsidian game is going to be moddable. They've sort of said it wasn't going to be, so. Is it possible to mod in a pitch tone slider for voice protagonist? Don't know. Probably. Modern Deer. Outer Worlds will not have mod support, but it's being made on UE4, which is mod-friendly engine. Do you think mods will be made for it? Will mods be made for it? Yes. Someone somewhere out there will make at least one mod for it, even if it's something that just tweaks some visual settings. Will the modding community be as big as for Fallout New Vegas, for example? No, I don't think so. How is that snowman not melting? Good question. Let's have a look. Excited for the upcoming release of Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett's Good Omens video adaptation. Really? Okay. Well, I am now. I didn't even know about it. I did not know about it. So, all right. Yeah, I'd be interested. For those of you who've not read that book, Good Omens, it is well worth a read. It's a book about the apocalypse, sort of. The Antichrist, sort of. It's very Terry Pratchett. It's also very Neil Gaiman as well, if you've read any of his other stuff. I really did enjoy that. So you should read everything with Terry Pratchett in it anyway. The man's a treasure trove of wisdom and wit. Without getting too nosy, how does your family feel about your job playing computer games for the entertainment of complete strangers? My girlfriend thinks I'm nuts. My kids don't really think about it too much. My 10-year-old sort of, she actually has a friend whose brother is actually one of my viewers. So she's kind of aware of it. But overall, you know, kids are like, whatever. They just know Papa spends an awful lot of time in his room. You enjoying the Protif Taker quest in Warframe? I don't know what quest that is. I say yes. I've done all the quests, so yes, go on. Biggest Gopher nemesis, YouTube numpties or Santa? Oh god, YouTube numpties. Will you stream Dying Light 2 in co-op? Maybe, but isn't Dying Light 2 gonna be actually quite a good single player experience? They seem to be going for a very... Well, I mean, I don't know whether they'll manage it, but they seem to want to be going for a very... what's the word? Consequences-oriented game. Did you ever get around your Fallout 76 keybind issues? Yeah, I stopped playing Fallout 76. No, yes, I did, sort of. I got myself a Razer Chrome Orb Weaver Stealth, and but I actually didn't get it just for Fallout 76. I got it for Call of Cthulhu because Call of Cthulhu is broken when it comes to keybinds as well. And literally, the game has a game-breaking bug in the key rebinds. You have to rebind the keys to do the puzzles. You you can't have movement keys rebound if you want to do the puzzles in Call of Cthulhu. So I did buy it because I finally got fed up. But I try not to use it. And there are 2 reasons for that. One, it's just nowhere near as comfortable. No, there are 3 reasons. It's nowhere near as comfortable as my Thrustmaster tactical board. And the second reason is it makes more noise when I press certain buttons, like the activate button. I don't know if you can hear that. That's the activate button, and this is the space, so this would be jump. I don't know if you can hear it. It makes more noise. And that is an issue, if you think about it. For someone like me, I generally don't like, I actually could do with a mouse that was quieter. So that's the second reason. And there was a third reason. Oh, right, yeah. Third reason. I kind of feel like I'm almost obliged now to stick with rebinding games to arrow keys so that I know which games fail. Because I kind of feel like somebody needs to be out there pointing it out. There are a lot more people who have issues with key rebinds than a lot of people realize. There were people saying to me, "You have got such a unique problem. Only you suffer this. Just get a new keyboard, dude. It's the only way." No, and I'm like, no, it's not unique. There is something like 1 in 7 people don't use a QWERTY keyboard. There are people out there that don't have QWERTY keyboards. Not every country uses QWERTY keyboard. There's I can't remember. Is it? There's a keyboard. Does it begin with an E or an A? Whatever. The first key is a vowel. So, I'm going to check the other chat. Give me a second. Azerty. Okay, so there's like Azerty. So there are keyboards out there that just don't work well with it. And there are also left-handed people. And a lot of left-handed people do not like to use the WASD keys. They prefer arrow keys. And then there are people like me who prefer the arrow keys, even though they're none of this. So this is not like a very unusual problem. Key rebinding is an integral part of PC gaming. It's an expected feature. It's like being able to change resolution. As I've said before, not being able to rebind keys correctly would be like not having access to, say, 1440p resolution. It's just what? you just expect it on a PC. And that's basically the problem I have with key rebinds. It's just such a simple thing to get right, comparatively speaking. Compared to the other things in the game, it's such a simple thing to get right, and it's such an expected feature. And so, me continuing to use this keyboard with arrow keys forces me to rebind those keys, and I will thus expose the games that fail. Games like Call of Cthulhu and Fallout 76. Because, I think, and some people say, well, stop complaining about it. It's your choice to use these keyboards. It is my choice. But a lot of people have this problem, and so I won't stop complaining about it because it's important. If you are like me and you need to be able to rebind your keys, it is important that you know if a game will allow you to do that, right? So even if there are options for me, there might not be options for everybody. Some people can't afford to go off and get a new keyboard. Some people just don't have a QWERTY keyboard, and they should be made aware that this keyboard, this game does not have key rebinds. So, okay, let's keep going. Because I'm now 17 minutes behind. Zach Blue. Any chance for single streams from time to time where you check out some really stupid games like Goat Simulator or Being Bred? I've checked out both of those. Go check my Gopher's live channel. I've even done Goat Simulator Payday. And, Juniper, have you read the more recent Stephen Donaldson's books, The Third Chronicles of Thomas Covenant? I'm actually reading them right now. Very slowly, though. Getting time has been the problem. Quadico, how do you feel about the growth of your channel this year? Reflecting back, do you wish there were other types of videos you'd released? Choose a different game instead of the one you played. Do I wish I'd chosen different games instead of the ones I played? Maybe. I'm not sure how well Call of Cthulhu worked at all. So, I don't know. Maybe. I'd have to go back and try and remember exactly which ones I've played this year. Not that many. Do I wish there were other types of videos I'd released? Oh, I don't know. You know this well. There are times I wish I had a rant channel. So much material out there to rant with. Somebody tipped me. Somebody tipped me. Sean Clee said. Somebody. I'm sorry, I'm not paying that much attention to the tips and things. I'm trying to focus on the Patron stuffs. Brilliant. I'm tired. I am tired. English language failing me. I'm going to try and find all these things. Is your normal channel not a rant channel? No, I'm talking the sort of rants. I'm talking like the one I did. The the beginner's guide to posting YouTube comments. Oh dear. Oh, thank you, Snaker Doctor. Thank you very much. I've had worse rants, but that I've just not made public. There are times I just start recording after I've read a comment and then go, yeah, I'm going to delete that. Oh dear. Let's have a look. Will I ever get the hang of your name? Yeah, I mastered it. There you go. I'm one of your moderators. It's you just want me to call you FK or Whisperer. Okay, I'll call you FK. I prefer 76. Question, can you point me to a directory of high quality, reasonably priced? It's a question by Wolfclaw. Oh dear. Wolfclaw is basically my sales guy. he's my sales guy. He constantly links to the Teespring store. And so he's literally written this in the text. Can you point me to a directory of high quality, reasonably priced merchandise themed around you and or the games you play? Would that location be something like... And then he puts the link. And then he wrote, I am not a patron, so this is absolutely mod abuse. Oh, love you lots, Wolfclaw. Yes, I do. Gopher, did you know that the KCD devs are going to be releasing tools for modding later on next year? I had heard this. Would that be something you would enjoy in that game, or do you think it's not the game that lends itself to modding? Right. That is an interesting question. It is a far more... the game revolves around the main quest more than, say, Skyrim and Fallout 4 does. It does. But you can actually... I've actually got a second Kingdom Come Deliverance Let's Play running because I wanted to test some things out. I say running. I've not done anything I've not done with the Henry... They're all with all Henry. The other playthrough, and I've not even got very far in it. But I wanted to test some things, especially in the tutorial area. and especially while I was trying to fix some bugs and stuff, and I wanted to be absolutely sure it wasn't me. But I was actually thinking to myself, you could do things very, very differently. You know, you could finish the main tutorial area and then just ignore the main question. There's quite a lot for you to still do. And I was actually thinking, you could just add tons more content, just loads of content with mods, and ignore the main playthrough. You could actually ignore the main quest or do the main quest so slowly it doesn't really affect you. And that would lend itself very well to modding. Fallout 4 didn't have that. The main quest really did. You kind of had to push it along several stages to get access to absolutely everything. Kingdom Come Deliverance doesn't have that problem. And I can see quite a lot of potential for modding. Now, you can't play anything other than Henry, or otherwise the dialogue wouldn't work. So there's not a lot of options there. That would require a mod that overhauls the dialogue. But yeah, I could see there being quite a lot of interesting mods out for KCD. I really could. I don't think it'll ever compete. I don't think it'll ever compete with Skyrim, just because of its size. KCD is sort of small, almost. It feels a little small compared to Skyrim. But at the same time, there's a lot of empty spaces. I could imagine people adding a lot of little quests. I could definitely see people adding tons of items. And KCD is one of those games where I think it would really benefit from, you know, loads of new outfits and items, horses, paraphernalia, because of the way the system works. I think it could be very, very cool. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that could work. Definitely could work. But I don't know for sure. We'd have to see what the tools they release do. But I would definitely be very open to that one. Is there a reason why you wouldn't do a playthrough of Oblivion before Skyblivion? Yeah, redundancy. If I did a playthrough of Oblivion, I just wouldn't want to play Skyblivion afterwards. So if I thought Skyblivion was never going to come out, I probably would have started an Oblivion playthrough instead of the Leonard playthrough. Probably. How far do you think the Divinity stream will be? Hopefully early next year. Early next year. Scary question. For how long will you continue YouTube, and will you grandpa Skyrim in the future? I will continue YouTube as long as it's viable for me to earn a living, support my family, basically. And of course, that the thing with YouTube, that could be, you know, 50 years. It could be 10 days. There's always something popping up that makes you remember that this really could end like that. So we don't live an extravagant life. I'm trying to focus on, you know, getting things set up, paying off mortgage, that type of thing. We don't own a car or anything. We did want to move. We did want to move and get a house, move out of the city and get a house, but that's proven to be a little problematic for a variety of reasons, including price. So, you know, we're trying to live frugally so that if something goes wrong, I'll have a little leeway, and then I can make some, you know, adjustments. But yeah, if all goes well, and I have fingers, yeah. Yeah, I will do this as long as I can. This is one of these things that I won't retire when I get to a certain age. I'll retire when I can no longer play computer games, or I can no longer, you know, make a coherent sentence. We seem to be approximately the same age. How do you remain so energetic? Coffee. I thought we'd covered this one. Lots and lots of coffee. I don't know. Thing is I am a very energetic. I don't think of myself as energetic. But I guess for my age, I probably am. I'm not one of these people that's twitchy. So I have a very... How do I describe this? I'm one of these people that can seem very stern and very calm. And a second later seem very whimsical. I've always kind of been that way. So it's I don't think of myself as energetic. I just think I have a large range of emotional expression. That's the best way I could describe that one. Calm. Shut up, Quarico. Yes, I'm reading the wrong chat, but I glanced across because I saw your name come up and knew I was going to be getting some grief. Get out of chat, she says. Good evening. Finally managed to unlock the Patron channel. Hello, Carrington T. Do you think playing games with subs like you did with the Vermintide Payday? Do you think playing with... yeah, no, here's the thing. If I'm playing a sort of game... Like, we tried a new game recently called Walking Dead, and that was the sort of game I was thinking we could get subs to come in and play. But the game didn't take off in the end. But yeah, I mean, I miss Payday. I definitely miss Payday. I do. I miss Payday. Warframe is the game I could play like that, but it's just, I have to say, Warframe just doesn't have the same focus. Warframe really is a grindy game. It's fun, but it's grind. And honestly, it's not a Payday. It's not a Payday 2. It's a shame we're never going to see Payday 3. Any horror game planned in the future? I don't know. That I do not know. Would you ever revive Julian? No, he's dead. Now that Payday 2 story has ended and there'll be no more DLCs, have you considered going back for a couple of streams? Yes. Payday 2 is a game I really, really, really miss badly. So yeah, maybe I will go back and play it again. I got out of playing it when they had the whole debacle, and I've still not really got used to the idea that pistols are the best weapon in the game. Blue Dragon, why are your videos always so short? 40 to 50 minutes is not long enough. Ha 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 ha. Hello there. Will you go back to Fallout 76 if they allowed rebinding of keys, bug fixes, and modding? Me going back to Fallout 76 has no bearing on those things, because I have actually got a keyboard that will work for it now without rebinding. The bug fixes, I never got hit by the bugs, to be honest, but then I didn't play it for very long. And I'm not that interested in modding it. I would go back to Fallout 76 if I thought I would have fun playing around with some people. And I'm not even ruling out the idea that I might go back and just have a go and goof off. I might. Because honestly, what I played was mildly fun. It was mildly fun. I saw a video from somebody, I can't remember who it was. It's just one of these ones that came up in my feed. Rand, I should have subscribed to him actually. And he essentially said what I've been thinking for a long time. Fallout 76's main problem was marketing. It was marketed as the next Bethesda game. As a Fallout game. It was hyped. And it was hyped to a community that wasn't ready for that game. And he actually said, if they'd have come out and said, hey guys, we've been working on this multiplayer mod. You guys have been asking for multiplayer Fallout for ages. And so we thought we'd work on it. We've been working on it. It's a side project. It's nothing big. It's nothing major. We're going to release it. Expect it to be buggy. We know it's going to be buggy. We know it's a whole new thing for us. But it's going to be cheap. It's going to be like $20. Or even better, free. It's going to be free. We'll have microtransactions in like we had for Fallout Shelter. Right? So make it free. Just make it free. And microtransactions. It's going to be buggy. We know it's going to be buggy, but, people have been asking for multiplayer Fallout, which they had. That is absolutely true. So we've done it. Here you go. And they'd rolled it out like that. The community would have been, all right, you're still making Elder Scrolls 6. And if Starfield had come out and say, yeah, we're still Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, they're full steam ahead. This is just a side project. We had one of the new acquisitions we acquired, one of the new development teams we acquired. We just set them this task. We said, we'll give you a little bit of help. But just, can you make a multiplayer version of this? And they've done it, and here it is. And we're expecting it to be a bit shaky. But hey, we're trying something new. Maybe you want to help us out. It is amazing. When he said that, I thought to myself, yeah, that's what I'd have been like, yeah, go on then. Because one of the things I did want to make a video as to why Fallout 76 flopped and Fallout Shelter didn't. This was before Fallout 76 fell apart for every other reason, like all the bugs, all the terrible pre-order problems, and then the terrible microtransactions. Just when it was a game where people were like, this is not the game I wanted. During the beta or prior to the beta when everyone was going, we did not want this game! And I was going to make a video where I was going to say, why is it that nobody wanted Fallout 76 and everyone's going mad about it, but nobody did the same for Fallout Shelter? And my essential thesis was Fallout Shelter was a bit of a side project. And it wasn't the main feature. Obviously, it was Fallout 4 was the main feature. And so it was kind of pushed out as the side. And it was an extra. And it was a kind of, we're trying something a bit different. It's also free. And so people thought, oh, go on, I'll give it a try. And then of course they had microtransactions, which were essentially loot boxes, and yet nobody cared because it was free. Fallout 76, they hyped it to us. They teased it on Twitch. What were they thinking? They teased it. They made us think there was a new Fallout coming out. We were like, people were like, it's Fallout 3 remastered, guaranteed. I guarantee it's Fallout 3. Told you. No, it's Fallout New Vegas 2. Can't be Fallout 5 already, can it? Oh my God, no. People were like, what? They teased it to the wrong crowd and they made us disappointed. It's just rule number one, don't disappoint. I mean, the E3, do you remember the E3 where they unveiled it all? The really tepid response that, yeah, what? And there'll be no NPCs! Yeah! None? Just don't hype something like that. You don't hype that. Could you imagine if... Do you remember when Fallout 4 was announced? Imagine 2015. 2015, they start teasing a Fallout. We're like, oh my God, it's Fallout 4, it's Fallout 4. Oh my God, it's Fallout 4. And then the E3 had come round and John had come out and go, yay! We know you guys have wanted something more Fallout for ages. And I was going, yes, it's Fallout 4. Yeah. And then he go, well, we've made a mobile game. Could have lynched him. He would have been dead before he could have got off stage, right? Could have been just gone. And yet, because they'd already announced Fallout 4, and this was a side project, Fallout Shelter went down really well. Most downloaded mobile game ever. Everyone cheering and screaming. I can't even remember how the hell I got onto that one. Sorry. I missed one. What did you get your mods and staff for Christmas? Couple of weeks off? Oh, I'm a terrible person, I know. I know you like whiskey, but do you also drink beer? Yes. If so, what's your favorite type brand? Any? Somebody called me a snob the other day in my actually on the video where I said you should read comments before, or you should watch a video before writing the comments. So you're a snob or something. Like, I am so not a snob, am I? It's alcoholic. I'll have it. Get that from my mother. Oh. Like, do you want some wine, Mum? Yeah. Which one? The cheapest you've got. So I don't like fancy wine. Give me the cheap stuff. It's got alcohol in it. Makes my tongue shrivel. Thank you very much. Oh. Yeah, no. What beers do I like? I quite like things like... I like a variety of it. There's a lot of local breweries around here I quite like. But I even like some of the lighter beers, like the Spanish ones. San Miguel, Corona, that sort of thing. I just go somewhere and be like, I was in America and they were like, would you like a drink, sir? I'm like, give me a beer. Would you like this and this and this one's Italian? I'm like, give me something American. I'm in America. Give me something American. And at the Greenbriers, they were just looking at you like, oh. But, yeah. Okay, let's go. Moving on. Do I like the wine Moscato d'Asti? Very gaming-related question. Don't know. I think we've already established probably. Have I ever considered doing a Frost or Dust playthrough on either Fallout 4 or Fallout New Vegas? Yeah. Question is a question of time. If you could bring a single game to an abandoned island, which single player and which multiplayer game would you take? Which single player game to a desert island? God, I don't know. Probably gonna be Skyrim. Depends. Can I take all the mods? If not, The Witcher 3. Actually, it might be The Witcher 3 anyway. I mean, if I have one game, but I've got an internet connection and can download mods, it's going to be Skyrim. Otherwise, it'll be The Witcher 3. Multiplayer. Which multiplayer game would I take? Desert Island. Oh, I could only have one, and I had to pick it, and I had to do it in a hurry. Payday 2. Plot twist, there's no electricity. Yeah, brilliant. Is Lenny more of your actual personality, or is Lenny Richard fleshed out versions, parts of your personality? All of my characters are me, just with certain parts removed. Occasionally some other parts added. I'm an unpleasant person, desperately trying to be less unpleasant. I have more empathy than Lenny does. I have more self-control than Jack does. Yeah. Question. If ZeniMax Online Studios had made a Fallout MMORPG, would it have been received better than Fallout 76 in your opinion? No. Would it have been better? Yeah. Would it have been better received? No. There are still people who think Elder Scrolls Online was made by Bethesda. There are still people who go along to the Bethesda YouTube channel when they announce like a Wolfenstein game or Rage 2, or they give you a trailer for any of the other studios' games they have, and all you'll see are people, just give us Elder Scrolls 6 now. Stop wasting your time on stuff like Rage 2. Nobody wants Rage 2. Stop wasting your time on Doom. Everyone hates Doom. We want Elder Scrolls 6. Like, ID Software has anything to do with Elder Scrolls 6. So, yeah, if ZeniMax Online Studios had made a Fallout MMORPG, there still would have been this whole, stop doing this and get on with Elder Scrolls 6. Would it have actually been a better game? Probably. Because ZeniMax Online Studios would have made a Fallout MMORPG probably based upon the same engine as their Elder Scrolls Online MMORPG, and thus it would have been an engine and a structure suitable for that sort of game. Because that's the big problem with the technical side of Fallout 76, is it's a game that's built on top of a game that wasn't, you know, an online multiplayer survival game. Out of all your characters, which one is your favourite? Jack. I love Leonard. Playing Leonard is a ton of fun. But Jack's relaxing. Jack is relaxing. Because I don't really have to try very hard with Jack. No, Steve was fun as well. Steve was fun. Barry was fun. All my bad characters were fun. The hardest one and the least favourite was Richard. But then I went out of my way to make Richard as dislikable as humanly possible. I mean, I did. I mean, I wanted to make a character that just would make the least likely hero ever. It's also my favourite story that I've told, the Richard story. So Leonard I like playing Leonard, but he's not as easy to play as I'd like. But yeah, it's got to be Jack. The podcast with King Gathan the other day was really enjoyable. Are there any other collaborations like that lined up in the next few months? None are lined up, but honestly, I'm easy for those. You know me, I'll talk endlessly for no apparent reason, for no gain whatsoever. Dalatus Strain. If someone wrote the character lines, would you do a voice of Steve, Richard, etc. follower for Skyrim? Yes. And would you allow them to make the mod? Yes. Definitely. Do a Leonard follower, Jack follower, Richard follower. Richard as a follower, I'm just, that would be annoying. Be like, did you just drop a book in the... How grateful are you to your patrons? Asked Quarico. Subtlety, thy name is Quarico, she wrote in brackets. I am very grateful to my patrons. I am very, very grateful. My patrons are why I can do this. It is this, I mean, you know, when I started the Patreon thing, I was busy looking for other ways to make this work. And I didn't expect the response I got. And I am really grateful and quite humbled by the response and the fact that I can do this, you know, and, you know, with YouTube being the way it is, it's, you know, I'm never going to be a PewDiePie. I'm never going to be, probably never even going to own a bloody car. Oh, good grief. But, you know, I get to put food on the table. I get to clothe my kids. We have a reasonably safe and healthy life, and I get to do something I love doing. And it is in no small part down to the patrons. It really is. So, you know, I will go one step further. Not only am I grateful to the patrons, I suspect that a lot of my other viewers are grateful as well. I get messages all the time from people saying, oh, I'd love to support you. I just can't afford it. And I completely understand that, and people don't need to apologize, but I get the feeling that there are people grateful that that people are supporting me for this, so I can do this. So yeah, massively grateful. Oh god, things are scrolling. How seriously are you considering a Fallout 4 Sim Settlements VR playthrough? Very seriously. Don't know when it would be though. Again, just a matter of time. Too many good things to play. VR, would I do a let's play of it in VR, or would I do streams? It's a difficult one, that, isn't it? Because it's still one of those things. VR is still in the state that is less viewer friendly. What we really need is someone to make a mod or a new technology that does chase cam on VR for all games. Did I read the Metro books? No, I'm afraid I didn't. What country or kingdom would you like to visit in Elder Scrolls 6? Honestly, I don't really mind. I really don't. I'd like it to be something a little different. I quite liked Skyrim, though, because Skyrim had a mixture of locales. But I miss Morrowind for its alien weirdness. And I quite liked Cyrodiil for its, comfortable beauty. Since you have Quadico stopping you posting rants that are not safe on your main channel, why not make a rant channel for all those videos? Because when it comes down to it, if I did a separate channel where I did rants, people would still come back to the main channel to give me grief for the stuff I'd ranted about. I have thought about it. But honestly, if I was going to rant, as long as it was game related, if I was going to rant, I might as well do it on my main channel. I mean, the reason I released the post comments after you've watched the video rant was, generally speaking, I felt it was more humorous than actual ranty. I don't think there are many people out there are going to feel like it was aimed at them or personal, because it was I did mean it completely humorously. There are some people who do it. When people post comments like this, and they do it on my videos all the time. I get that. I post a video where I'm essentially lambasting Bethesda for their inability to make a good game on their current engine, and someone comes along and goes, "I can't believe you're defending Bethesda," and I'm like, I facepalm so hard. I mean, I just feel like I just literally gave them the biggest open-handed slap to the face you could ever give them. I just said. Obsidian could have made a good game with your engine, which is really that's kind of like turning around to your girlfriend and saying, "Well, your sister's cuter than you are," or something. It's like well, no, don't go there. That's just don't go there. And I made a video that was essentially that, and they're like, "Can't believe you're still defending Bethesda." It's like. And I don't get angry at these people. I get that. How are people that stupid? And that's why I wanted to make that video. So, will I ignore Jean-Cle's question? Yes, apparently. Will Richard's Let's Play ever be remastered and released on DVD with director's commentary? No. And it can't have deleted scenes either because I don't have the original footage. How many shovels would it take to make Fallout 76 a truly great game? I think we're at the stage of the Patron stream where people are running out of decent questions. I say decent questions. Serious ones. Did you enjoy your time in the States when you visited? Yes. Where did you travel? Not very far, really. We went to Washington and then West Virginia, and that was it. I stayed in one of the weirdest places I've ever stayed in my entire life. It was like a populated version of the hotel in The Shining. It's called the Greenbriers. We saw an actual real life Fallout. A nuclear fallout shelter, which was very, very cool. And we ate a lot of food. A real lot of food. Just, yeah. What were the things I loved and hated about playing Richard? I loved Richard's transformation. That's what I loved about Richard. What did I hate about him? Towards the end, it just got very, very difficult. It took a lot of emotional energy, and I don't know why. Towards the end, I was exhausted by the time I finished chapter 6, which was weird because when I went back to it and played the Moon Path to Elsewhere and the Helgen Reborn mods, I thoroughly enjoyed those and was completely relaxed. I think the worst part about the Richard playthrough, and the reason I got tired towards the end, was the pressure. It was the pressure to get it right. I knew I was ending it in chapter 6. I knew I was doing the big fight. I knew I was going to save the world, and I knew it had to be good. I couldn't get away, and I knew it was going to be a short chapter as well. And I knew I couldn't get away with just phoning it in, as it were. I couldn't get away with having a bit of fun, creeping around a few dungeons. I had to go out, and I had to go out well. I was ending the longest series I'd had, because even though it was chapter 6, I'd had the Falskar chapter as well. So towards that end, the pressure to get it right was really immense, and it was tiring. I can't even tell you. One of the things that people don't realize about doing this sort of a thing is how tiring it can be to stay energetic, to keep. It sounds I'm going to sound like some artist fresh out of school flouncing off. I do not have my muse. I do not. I need to go off and find my muse. Go away, you horrible people. I'm going over there to find something to inspire me. I have no idea where that accent came from. But, this is, you get in this place. I found myself wandering around my room. And I do this sometimes still, usually at the start of chapters. To get episode 1 going, I'll pace up and down my room, and I'll literally sound like Shia LaBeouf or something. I like just trying to psych myself up, get into it, because I know I've got to nail the first bit, and I'll try something, and I'll think, no, that sucks, and then I'll get it, and I'll get the idea, and I'll know I've got it. I'll know I've got it almost immediately, and I knew I had it with Leonard. Just trying on those outfits, and then just, that was it. And then I've got it. I've got the start. But then, where do we start from there? Right. We're on a mission to get a house. We're on a mission to get influence. Where would he start? Where's the best place to start? Oh God, and I'm like going through all of these different options, because of course I know the game really well. And then it was like, the Bard's College. Of course. The Bard's College. And that was it. So this is, you go through these stages. And after that, the chapter just starts flowing. It just starts flowing and going. And all of a sudden, you're in the zone. And now you're just recording stuff. But those are the moments that they can be really exhausting. And the Richard Let's Play at the end, that last chapter, was like that. And I know I sound like a lunatic at this point. Let's have a look. Who would win in a free-for-all battle between your characters? I vote Steve because of the frenzy. Wolfclaw bets on the ranged attack of Richard. Of all my characters, I mean, we got some problems here because, of course, like Jack's got lots of high-tech weaponry and drugs. Probably Steve. Conjuration, pretty damn powerful. I don't know though. I don't know. Probably Steve. Conjuration. I can't remember. Did Steve have a lot of illusion? He didn't use it a lot. The most powerful mix in Skyrim is Conjuration Illusion. That is so OP, it's broken. Conjuration Illusion is the broken one if you mix them. Conjuration by itself is pretty powerful though, towards the end. But yeah, I think the most powerful combo is Conjuration Illusion. So he's, you want to if you want to avoid making the game trivially easy, do not mix those two schools. Do not mix those two schools at all. Yeah. Will. There's Will as well. Power armor. Yeah. Lenny would slip into the shadows and poison the victor. Yeah, except the poison wouldn't kill the victor. Will you ever ask Eleonora to build a library for Richard just to make his last small conclusive chapter? Oh, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? The other funny thing, though, isn't it? Somebody else pointed this out. The legacy of the Dragonborn would have just been such a good mod for Richard. Luckily, Leonard shares Richard's desire to own stuff. To collect one of everything. Have I ever been recognized in real life by a fan follower? No. Not there. Right. Of course, I was at the CD Projekt Red Witcher 3 event, and I did meet one of my followers, one of my fans, because he works for GOG. And he knew I was in the building, so he came down and found me. So that was the first time I'd ever met someone, and I think I freaked out and looked like a panicked deer in the headlights sort of thing. I was really like, I wasn't expecting. So I was a bit freaked out. God knows what he was thinking. The brother of somebody, the mother of, oh God, this is a complicated relationship. Where my 7-year-old son has a friend, and his mother has a brother, and the brother is one of my viewers. And that was discovered, by a conversation she was having with him at one of those events. And so I've met him, but he's never mentioned it. So that's fine. And the other one is the son of one of my best friends from growing up. Turned out to be one of my viewers. Which is really odd if you think about it. So he's actually going to be trying to get into YouTube himself in gaming. So, dear, oh dear. Right, let's. What are your thoughts on the wreck? No, would you ever play Blue Dragon? You've been asking way too many questions. That sounds awful, doesn't it? Would I ever play Redguard or Battlespire? Don't think so. Just again, mostly time. What are your thoughts on the Requiem overhaul? I've not tried it, and I'm unlikely to ever do so because, again, that would need a whole new playthrough. I'm afraid it would need a whole new playthrough. So. You know, I imagine Leonard's going to be my last Skyrim playthrough because I'm hoping by the time Leonard ends, and that's not going to happen anytime soon, we will at least have Skyblivion by then, and maybe even Skywind, and probably Elder Scrolls 6 because Leonard's going to go on for a while. Did you have a chat with Gronk at the Fallout event, and did you like him? He's a German YouTuber. I quite enjoy his content. My heart just stopped when I saw you two were meeting. I don't know. I spoke to a lot of people, but you know what I'm like with names and stuff, and I chatted with loads of people. I mean, I'll just chat with anyone. Just sit down and start talking to people at a table. I need to do an entire video in that accent from now on. I'm assuming which accent. Yeah, okay. Muslin Milan wants to know what your favourite whiskey is. Again, not a snob. The one that's in the glass closest to hand. I like single malt. I like Scotch. But I you know, when I was in America again, they were like, I was like, you got any whiskey? Like, yeah, give me something American. Give me something American. Just. It's brown, it's alcoholic. Bring it over. Just like letting Inigo sing. That comment probably applies to something I said earlier. Actual question, although it's still somewhat shilling, sub on Twitch, if you can call it that. Any plans on new emotes, bit badges for the Twitch channel? Yeah. But you know me. You know how bad I am at this. You know how bad I am at this. Richard had his werewolf strength in battle. Here's the thing, though. Richard was a werewolf to gain strength in the early stages, but I actually think Richard himself was stronger than the werewolf side about halfway through the playthrough. Who's your favourite Elder Scrolls lore character? Don't know. I'm not like huge. I'm not hugely into the lore, even though I like reading it. You know what I mean? I'm more into the place than the people, although I enjoy interacting with the people. I'd say Mike the liar, but, you know, that's just too easy, isn't it? It's too easy. I don't know. I'd have to think about it for a while. I think I would have to give it some serious contemplation. And the other one is always the listener from Dark Brotherhood. But again, oh God, what was his name in the Halalu? Oh, come on. The guy that makes you strip naked. What was his name? What was his name? Oh, I've forgotten his name. Anyway, he was pretty good. There's the Daedric Princes. I mean, you got Sheogorath. You can't not love him. You've got... I've forgotten the names now. The one with the dog. Bloody hell. This is getting late now. Whatever. The one with the dog. Things with a C, I think. So, you know, I like those, but again, they're just too easy. Clavicus Vile. Yes, Clavicus Vile. Right. So I'm going to go. What is this I hear about Insanity Clause? MXR and Gopher is in a mod. Yeah, I think he was in a mod as well. I'm in several mods. I'm actually in a Fallout mod. I'm not even going to tell you which one, because you won't even recognize my voice, because they computerize it. But I was in, Insanity Clause. I've not played that. Believe it or not. And I did the lines for it. I should do that. And I should have done it at Christmas as well, shouldn't I? I should have done that at Christmas. I can't even remember what that one was about. Isn't that a murder mystery? It wasn't a murder mystery, isn't it? It was a murder mystery. Pretty sure it's a murder mystery. But yeah, there was also the one, and I really want to play it. I can't, though, because it just doesn't fit my Let's Play. Wowbagger. I'm in that one. That one is brilliant. I've not played the game, but I saw the trailer for that. The guy who did the voice of Wowbagger was actually the guy who wrote the mod, and I think he was perfect. I think his voice was perfect for the whole thing. It just really was. For those of you who've not seen the Wowbagger trailer for the Skyrim mod, go see it. It's absolutely brilliant. Robin was in that one as well. Would you play Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 on your channel? I might. Very dated games. It's a shame that I can't blind Let's Play number 1, though. Oh, I would love the ability to temporarily suspend memories so that I could replay Knights of the Old Republic 1, not knowing. Will you ever come to PAX Australia? No. Beyond Skyrim could keep Lenny going for years. Probably. Will you ignore Quarico's question? No. Would you meet a fan if the fan signed an NDA not to reveal who you are? I don't know. I'm still a little weirded out by the whole... I mean, I'm chatting with you guys now like this, and I just feel like I'm chatting with a bunch of guys, but like meeting people in real life is just... I don't know. Yeah, I'm still not quite come to terms with this. Maybe it's my age. Do I have a favorite Pratchett character? I'd like to say Death, but it's not true. It's probably Vimes or Granny Weatherwax. Or the Patrician. Leonard is actually modelled on the Patrician. He's like the Patrician, except not as competent and not as controlled. But the way you visualize the Patrician with his, the sardonic look, the raised eyebrow one side, that kind of thing, the sort of personality type. But yeah, no, it's probably, so I do like the Patrician, I do. But it's probably Granny Weatherwax or Nanny Hog. Who doesn't love Nanny Hog? But it got to be. I honestly, if I really, really came down to it, probably Samuel Vimes. I mean, he's got so many good characters, though. So many good characters. But Vimes, I just felt is just a brilliant character in the end. The Enderal extension, Forgotten Stories, is supposed to be released soonish. Yeah, we've already done that one. It's probably I'm not going to have time, but I don't even know if I could continue the Ming story or whether you have to start again. If you have to start again, I'd say it's a long way off. And even if you don't have to start again, it's probably still a ways off. What is your favourite story and what is your favourite non-story related mod for Elder Scrolls or Fallout game? Favourite story mod? I don't know. I'll name one and then think of another one 10 seconds later that's better. Story mod. I mean, what do you mean by story mod? You know, because I've had some great ones. I gotta be honest with you. Do you want one that stands out to me, like quest mod? The one where you rebuild the school in Fallout New Vegas for some odd reason. I just loved that. I really did. Insanity Clause was made by DD Productions, wasn't it? Interesting guy. Yeah, he is. What draws you to the shorter but awesome games like Soma, Edith Finch, or Stanley Parable? I don't know, to be honest. I just like every now and again to play something that's quicker or smaller. But the Stanley Parable, I mean... That was just people said, hey, you should play Stanley Parable. And God, am I glad I did. It looks like everyone's wrapping it up for me. I think Quarico's dropping the hint bombs. What was your favourite Witcher character monster? Oh, I don't know. Oh, a favourite Witcher character? It's either going to be... oh, God, what was his name? Olgierd's brother? Olgierd's brother. God, what was his name? Can't remember his name. The one that possesses you. Him or Gauntro Dim. Because Gauntro Dim's awesome. Oh, the Bloody Baron was a good one as well. The Bloody Baron was a good one. But Gauntro Dim probably. Just overall, just... Look at the other one. Vladimir? No, it's Vladimir. Vladimir. He was awesome. Olgierd was pretty good. Vladimir was awesome. Brilliant. Bloody Baron was a great character, but Gaunt or Dim. Regis was a good character. There's so many good characters in the Witcher games. Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is also a thing with new endings. Oh, really? Huh. Have you considered an Inigo playthrough with Leonard after V3 comes out? Wait, you mean upgrading Inigo to version 3? Yeah, when Inigo comes out, if Inigo gets updates, I will obviously install them. I don't need to start a new game to get it, do I? Because that wouldn't work. What is your favorite moment in all the Witcher games? Oh, I don't know. No, there's too that's impossible to say. There's just too bloody many of them. Although, no, I know which one it is. I know I do. It's the first game. It's the first game, and I even predicted it was going to happen. Not predicted it was going to happen, but I sort of preempted the line that Geralt said. It's when he takes out the silver sword to kill... I can't remember his name now. Jacques Daldesberg, was it? And he takes out the silver sword to kill him. And he goes, but that's for monsters. That was an awesome moment, that was. But also the moment you realize it's the little kid. The moment you realize that it's the boy that went missing. You know, just those moments were just bloody hell. Wow. It's an absolute shame that Witcher 1 was as clumsy as it was compared to, say, Witcher 3. I mean, here's this is going to sound like the dumbest thing ever, but if CD Projekt Red took the Witcher 3 engine and remade Witcher 1, they'd have to change a few things, but they remade Witcher 1 on that engine and just redid all the lines and oh God, I'd love that, because that was still such a bloody good story. Such a bloody good story. Because I mean, my review for The Witcher 1 was a brilliant story that was told by by someone who wasn't very good at telling a story at the moment. Because I think it was. It was like, a great story told by someone who wasn't a great storyteller. And then I believe I actually upgraded to Witcher 2 to a great story told by a great storyteller, someone who'd become a great storyteller. And of course, in Witcher 3, they just perfected the art. I mean, I still get goosebumps when I hear the Witcher music. I get goosebumps to this day. When I hear it, I get And it is absolutely one of the things I really want to do is an NG Plus playthrough of Witcher 3. Not a Let's Play, though. Not a Let's Play. Because my playthrough of The Witcher is my playthrough of The Witcher, and I want that to be my playthrough of The Witcher. So whilst there's a little side of me would like to replay the entire thing, and this time go Team Triss, and go with the Scoia'tael, for example. Go with the Scoia'tael all the way, and go Team Triss. I wouldn't want to Let's Play it because I don't want... because it wouldn't be a different character. I can do that in Skyrim because I can have Richard, and I can have Steve, and I can have Leonard. But Geralt is Geralt. And my Geralt, the Geralt that I have presented to the world, is on my Let's Play. So I don't think I'd ever re-record a Let's Play because I think it would almost dilute my other one. But I've often thought I would like to play another side of those games, or at least do an NG Plus playthrough of The Witcher 3 and go do a different, just do it different. But mostly it's just to listen to the music and that. Oh God, I've got it. I'm getting, my heart is in my mouth when I think about that. Just the way it started, everything. Yeah. Gone all misty now. I mean, I enjoyed The Witcher 1 and I really did enjoy Witcher 2. But I remember when I went to that event where we got to see The Witcher 3 in advance, and I remember I got invited by them. It was the strangest thing. I was playing The Witcher, and I was not close to finishing, but probably like about 2/3 the way through. And they sent me a message, would you like to come and try an early version of Witcher 3? And my first thought was, well, I haven't played Witcher 2 yet. And then I was thinking, no, this is going to ruin my Let's Play a little bit, you know, and I can't believe I was even thinking like that. But I said, yeah. And I remember I didn't rush, but I really made sure I quickly finished The Witcher 1, got all the content done, and then played at least, I think it was about 15 to 20 episodes of Witcher 2 or something. I made sure I'd played enough of Witcher 2 so I had a feeling of the game mechanics and what the game was like. So you know, I really did want to have a feel for it so that I had something to compare for Witcher 3. So, you know, I mean, I remember I did that. I really, but I hadn't finished Witcher 2 when I started Witcher 3. And so I was consciously trying my best to ignore key story elements when I was playing The Witcher 3 in Poland. But even though I was doing that, I could feel the emotional power in those dialogues. I could feel the moment. I could feel it so much. And I remember just playing that game in Poland and thinking, it's difficult to tell because I'm not at home and I haven't seen the whole thing yet. And I'm in a strange place. There's a lot of hype going on, but I was out of my comfort zone. And I'll tell you now, I didn't enjoy playing it there as much as I enjoyed playing it at home. Some people think you get a better impression playing at these games at these events because of the hype. It's the opposite for me. I actually enjoyed playing it at home 10 times more than I enjoyed it playing there. So what I have to do when I'm there is try to imagine how it's going to be playing. And I was having to play with the controller, which is awful for me. And yet I was still bloody enjoying that game. I was enjoying that game, and I'm thinking to myself, this is, when I get home and play this with a mouse and a keyboard and on my comfortable chair and I can pay attention and I can take my time. Because that's the other thing. I was sort of rushing through bits and I was trying to get good footage and make sure I got knowledge so I could cover it for you guys and tell you what. I was thinking, when I get home and I can just relax with this is going to be incredible. And I just remember thinking, I'm going to go back and I'm going to tell them how good this game is. And they're just going to think, he's been paid. Because I was just every aspect of it just blew me away. But I remember, even when I was making the video, watching the bit where they're on the hill right at the start of the game, where Vesemir and Geralt are on the hill talking about Yen, and I believe they even spoke about the unicorn. That scene and the wind blowing and the music playing and just editing that and just thinking, wow, it feels like it's going to be the most epic thing I've ever played. It feels like that. Like somehow, even in these early moments when they're having these conversations, this conversation between Vesemir and Geralt on the hill somehow felt like everything was going to be epic. And I can't even put my finger on what it was about that. And I just, Oh, what a game. I have gone completely off, haven't I? Like, I have no idea what on earth we were saying. I was being told to wrap it up. Do I still have nightmares about the Letho fight? Yeah, that was annoying. Very funny Dalatas Drain. So when you start in XCOM, is the rant over now? Final question. Can you finish with another F76 rant for Quarico? She's still on the fence about it. I don't think she's on the fence about that. Got a new sub. I am going. A new sub. Welcome. Valocule. I am so tired. Go up and read your nice comment. You made a nice comment? Can I screen cap it? Sorry, she did say something nice. I don't know whether to embarrass her by saying it. Okay, guys, I've got. Oh, don't make me cough. Oh, I'm gonna go and check everything's okay out there. Lillulafton. Little Christmas Eve. We celebrate Christmas a day earlier here. Christmas Eve is when they do the whole presents opening thing. So tomorrow is technically Christmas. I've not got any whiskey. I need to get whiskey. I should have had whiskey. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it has been 2.5 hours. I want to thank all of the patrons for everything, basically, including turning up tonight and just fielding me random questions. I quite like this. I quite like this way of doing it, actually, doing Discord questions. I think that's nice because then I can sort of focus on the patrons who really don't get enough love from me. They don't get enough love from me. Do you know what, though? I'm seeing something on Streamlabs. You know the thing that does the alerts for oh god, excuse me, that was bad. Oh dear. Did I just yeah, so the alerts thing, I think it can actually show when somebody joins Patreon. But I think it only does it the instant they do it. But I don't even know. But I spotted it. It's one of the alerts that's available. So I've enabled it. God knows what's going to happen. But I really would like it if Streamlabs or Twitch had more integration with the patrons. But I think this works. I think this actually works where I can see the Discord chat. But it also encourages the patrons to get on Discord and join the patron channel. So, because occasionally that is where I'll post something and go, will this get me murdered? So, you know, the whole beginner's guide to YouTube comments video, if you were horribly offended by it, blame the patrons because they said it was okay. Anyway, so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a very Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'm going to post videos. I may even do a random stream at some point, so you may hear me again. If not, I will see you in 2019, and hopefully we'll have another great year. So, Merry Christmas. Be safe. Drink lots of alcohol, but don't be too ill. Unless you're underage, don't drink alcohol. Be good. Don't be like me. And on that note, good night, everybody.